Hey, what's up, y'all? We are back for round 2 of mashups, and this time we're getting all kinds of crazy, and we're doing a mashup of B&M and RMC. So sit back, relax, and let's see what kind of foolishness we can get up to. All right, so what do we got here? We are tentatively calling this Violent Delights, but you know how I do. Name might change at any minute, or the entire concept for that matter. But I am anticipating a 3 to 4 part series here. This isn't going to be something that we're waiting around forever to see completed. The first episode is going to be this build. I completed in FVD. In the next episode, I will have it uploaded into NoLimits 2, and we'll start work on the supports. I'm thinking, well, originally I was thinking it would take about 1 episode to do the supports, but given that it's an RMC and there's a bit of intricacy into some of the supports, I think maybe that might take 2 episodes, and then we'll do the final POV. For that, I've got some vague ideas about what kind of setting I want for this and so forth. Maybe something in the desert, but I've done that already, so who knows. But for the idea where this came from, for anyone who has been watching, I recently did an FVD Elements where I did the Mako video, and I kind of invented the front end ollie element, and I really wanted to use that relatively quickly. Then I also wanted to do another mashup video. If you're a regular subscriber, you'll remember that we did Juju a few months ago, and that was a mashup of PNC and Intamin. So I've had a few ideas for mashups, and I've been kind of playing around in my head. Finally, though, one of my subscribers, which is Kevin Alberts, mentioned that he'd like to see a 0G roll, or excuse me, 0G stall done by B&M at some point. So that sort of all solidified it. Brought it all together for me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do a B&RMC. We're going to combine a B&M and an RMC and see what we come up with. So as for the elements, obviously this is a fantasy coaster. I went ahead and made it huge. I made it 351 feet tall, or 107 meters for my metric friends, and it just reaches 100 miles per hour at the bottom of the first drop. I did that because I really wanted to make the elements huge and graceful, like modern B&Ms do. I really like just really graceful flowing elements, but at the same time I'm including the sort of antics that RMC is known for, like off-axis hills, 0G saw. In fact, the one that you saw me create just a moment ago was 4 seconds long. A wave turn, an awesome triple down, and an end run somewhat similar to Steel Vengeance. So you see so far this is coming along fairly quickly. I've already done the first front end ollie. Of course, I put that little dip at the bottom of the first drop, which RMC seems to do quite a bit because they have extra space. I stuck that in there, did the front end ollie, did the 0G stall, which lasts for 4 seconds. I think it's over 200 feet tall. Well, it is over 200 feet tall because I know the front end ollie is 300 feet tall already. And then we started working on this turnaround here. For some reason, progress seems to have stopped for a moment. But going into the turnaround, you've got an off-axis hill, and then coming out of it, you've got a wave turn. It's very weird looking just because it sustains negative, I think it's negative 1G for a few seconds. And then there's a sort of a really graceful flow out of it down to the ground, like something that B&M would do. So again, we're mashing it up. We're mixing up RMC and B&M. So we're using B&M or RMC elements in a way that sort of feels like a mix of both designers. So it took me a minute here to get this little hill for me to decide actually how I wanted to do the return run on this coaster. And then we go up into an airtime hill that is very much like a B&M because it's just 0Gs at the top. So you just kind of float over it. And then we start going into the great triple down. I had to include something like that just because I loved the quadruple down so much on Lightning Rod. That was one of the best parts of the ride. So I definitely wanted to include something like that. I probably should have put in more inversions now that I think about it. We really only have 2 inversions at the very start of the ride. I probably should have done a roll or something, but I didn't, and it's done already. I'm pretty pleased with the way it rides, just based in FVD. So I'm probably just going to leave it the way it is. But you see here we're starting to work on the triple down, and I did sort of put some weaving just a little bit to give that feeling of what it's like to go down the quadruple down on lightning rod. So we'll finish this up, and in the meantime I'll talk about what's coming up. We have for FVD elements, I've got 3 requests coming up. One is the Val Raven turn, another is a B&M drop, and the third is the non-inverting loop from Shock in Italy. So those will be coming up. Finally, I was supposed to go, of course, to San Antonio last week, but it snowed here and I just postponed the trip. So I'm going to King's Dominion on opening weekend. I think that's March 30th. And then I'm going to San Antonio on April 11th. I did go to Glen Echo Park the other day, which is an old amusement park here in the DC area. I took a lot of footage with that with my new 4K camera. So I'm going to do just a little bit of a history of that park. That should be interesting. And I am also trying to think of some projects to do with After Effects, doing something really extensive with that. We'll see about that. But in the meantime, that's going to be about it for me yapping. So we're going to take a ride on this, and then that'll be the end of the video. So let me know what you think in the comments, or if you want to see anything in FVD elements, just let me know. I'm always glad to hear from everybody. Otherwise, take care and enjoy the ride.